So I chose 3D printing for my topic. 3D printing is a manufacturing process that creates three-dimensional objects layer by layer and is done by a computer. And to go a little more in depth, basically how it works is a 3D design or model is created and then sliced into many thin horizontal cross sections. The printer then uses this data to deposit materials such as plastic, liquid resin, and powder. This has become a mainstream manufacturing choice, which I thought was interesting. Some advancements include the use of different materials, development of new techniques for complex structures, and innovation such as even printing homes and buildings, which I thought was also interesting. And here are some industries that 3D printing is relevant to. First one is aerospace. One benefit is producing lightweight yet sturdy components, reducing production costs, and minimizing waste. And in all of these industries, 3D printing is mainly doing the production, of course, of parts or whatever we're talking about. The next industry is healthcare. One example is surgeons can use 3D printed models from CT scans to plan complicated surgeries, create prosthetics, and dental aligners. And the final one is automotive. It produces parts faster, easier customization. I was reading on a fancy car brand like Ferrari, and it just is a lot easier to replace or customize parts rather than going the conventional route. I thought this was interesting. The first ever 3D printer from 1984, created by Chuck Hull versus a more modern one. They look similar, but you can tell there's been some evolution. Base 2, according to Fortune Business Insights, the estimated global revenue generated by 3D printing will be $101.74 billion by the year 2032. As of right now, it's currently valued at $23.41 billion. So, although 2032 is 7 years away, the growth is quite significant, I found. Base 3, business opportunities for South Dakota specifically. Construction is a very relevant industry across all states. 3D printing has already made its way into the industry, but I would imagine it will only further evolve. Some benefits for construction include, like I discussed earlier, rapid manufacturing, creating intricate designs that conventional methods can't, reduce waste, utilizes concrete and 3D printing processes to stabilize structures, which I thought was just kind of crazy that somehow 3D printers are using concrete. So another extremely relevant industry in South Dakota and the entire Midwest is agriculture. And again, 3D printing has already made its way into agriculture a little bit. And it's not super unexpected, my proposition, because agriculture is such a huge industry in South Dakota, but I thought it was a little unexpected because when I think of farming and agriculture, I would think they would stick to traditions and what they're already doing. Like, they probably have it nailed down pretty good, but like every industry, everything's always evolving, and they are sticking to what they already know, but they're just producing parts faster and more efficiently, you could say, essentially.